This is probably going to be the most important video I'm going to make. In this video, we're going to be talking about what's consciousness and how to raise your consciousness. The nature of your consciousness determines the quality of your life. You can have everything in the world, all the money, the power, the fame, the position. But if your consciousness is not high, if you don't have that inner strength, that wisdom that comes from a high state of consciousness, then all these things will ultimately be unfulfilling, and life within you will be yearning for more. And your ability to use whatever you have within this world is greatly enhanced by the state of your consciousness. The more conscious you are, the more content you will feel, because usually when your consciousness is not so high, you derive your sense of self from the things that the world can give you. So of course the world can give you everything, and there's always room for more and more and more and more and more things for you to gather in the world. So when you derive your sense of self from the things that the world can give you, and you don't feel satisfied. But when you raise and grow in consciousness, then your sense of self is derived from an internal state, from your inner being, and there is much more groundedness and wisdom in that space. It is no longer a space of wanting or a space of craving. The world, whatever the world gives you, you accept it, but your sense of well-being is no longer dependent on what you possess externally. The more conscious you are, the more you're able to maneuver around your relationships and respond to your partner or whoever you're in a relationship with grace, with compassion, with wisdom. Because consciousness is above the mind, it transcends the mind. You're not judgmental towards your partner and whoever you're with. You can view things from a more deeper and connected place. When you're in a relationship with someone, you can sense that same consciousness or presence in them. And this is how you can see them as a part of yourself. When you sense their essence and their own truth being one and the same with your own essence and truth, there is genuine love and connectedness there. Therefore, how can you cheat such a person? How can you harm such a person? How can you kill such a person? This is the essence of compassion and love. Next, when you bring a state of high consciousness to your work that you're doing, then you can do your work with much more clarity without losing yourself in the work. This is very important if you don't want to get stressed out, if you want to be able to use your mind much more in a much more flexible way. So presence and consciousness, it also allows you to move and maneuver in the workplace drama or things that happens in the workplace. Instead of you engaging in ego battles with your colleagues, ego battles with your boss, you're able to humble yourself and do what's best for your work, as opposed to being self-centered and doing what's best for you. This comes from your perception and realizing the inner qualities and true nature of yourself as consciousness. Consciousness does not need to feel any superiority over anyone. It's simply there, and there is an immense groundedness and solidness to its self and strength. Whereas the ego always feels a need to maintain its superiority and always be right in a situation or in a conversation. So when you're able to transcend the ego and enter into this inner space of consciousness, your work and your work environment is transformed. Everyone around you, in fact, are transformed. You become a sun that dissipates the darkness around.